Hello there everyone, my name is Pinkshire and welcome back to another episode of Plant Crafter. This is episode 42, which means I'm only 10 episodes off from a year. Isn't that wild? Okay, I was going to get myself some oxygen, a bit more food, and I was going to go back out and explore. A little shakier than I'd like it to be, but oh well. And empty this out. Okay. I completely got sidetracked. I was going to expand my infrastructure longer because I have drone ports now. That's a thing I have. And I can make them. Ah, well, it's fun. I gotta get those mines set up. I think I'm going to need... If I've been taking a look at things and looking at them properly, I can't really use the drones until I get my pressure up. So that's a bit of a waiting game. Kind of. I need to build some more pressure things over there. But I wanted to explore. So let me go see if there's any oxygen here before I go and make some. Nope. Okay. To the crafter I go. Not you. You're full, you're full. You're not quite full. You're full. You're full. I have that. I'm sure I picked up an osmium rod somewhere, or I have enough osmium to make one at the very least. And then you get a bunch of stuff. Okay, where do I have a ton of cobalt? Don't think I want them centered. There you are. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's 3. Yeah. 1, 2. There we go. Plenty. So. Yes, I know I didn't get the Star Rupture episode up on Sunday. That is my fault. I had to leave and go halfway across the country for a little while for a big event in my family. But I wasn't able to get a video uploaded among other responsibilities. So that's something I'm going to have up this coming Sunday again. This does not mean that I have changed my upload schedule. No, it has not. I'm trying to be very consistent. I'm not being very consistent when I bump it up to 2 videos a week, apparently. I was good for like 8 weeks. And then some stuff came up. I'm like, darn. So I have this place. I'm going to go explore it. And after I'm done exploring it, I am going to build and do more things. The thing I initially intended to do, yes. Let's see if I can drive the rover closer this time. You run that motor. I've been playing a bit of TerraTech in my spare time with a friend of mine. Just a bit. I'm having fun with it. TerraTech World specifically. It's fun. It's a fun little thing to build modular. I do like doing that. That's really fun. Ooh, rain. Yippee! A lot of rain. So, in other news, it snowed where I am. And where I was. Like, a good amount of snow. And I will tell you this much. It is early November. Yeah, today's actually Remembrance Day that I have to record. I'm recording a day later than I normally do because of the flights and such. So, I was grateful to not be too tired. Genuinely. No likey. I generally was grateful not to be too tired. Okay, down I go. Now the real question is, Do I explore the structure first? Or do I go and explore the hall first? I don't think I'm going to go explore the hall. See if it comes up anywhere. Okay. Boink. Okay, good there. Good on water. Pardon me. Pardon me. So, yeah. Yeah, today is November 11th. Remembrance Day, up where I am. Some people call it Armistice Day. It's the day World War I ended. Officially. On the 11th hour, the 11th day, the 11th month. Very poetic, one might say. So I probably will take a moment, maybe 10 seconds. I've taken my moment today already to honor those who fought for me. Fought for my freedom. That's the least I can do for them. And as much as you may personally dislike the things that they did, or things that they were used for, you have to understand that they fought for you to have the ability to have those thoughts. It would be ungrateful to not honor them. You may not have to agree with them. You may not have to think what they did was right. But history would show that the C-note biome. History shows that if those men had not fought, things would be very different. That's why I can't use my thing. Well, at least I can breathe. What are you? Warden key detector. I probably have that already. Nice, nice. So the survivors seem to have done that. And it was an interesting thing that we learned last time. Seems that the wardens were a type of hive mind that still retained some individuality, which is very odd. Not unheard of in fiction, but the idea of a hive mind maintaining individuality is exceedingly odd. I have a hard time understanding how they manage that, because it's such a foreign concept to me as someone who is only individual. Now, there's another thing here. I'll read this one. I'll go down and read the other one. Might be the only other one that's here. What will the future be for us? What is our destiny? We believe that we can survive. We can find another place. Build a new colony once again. Just as we did long ago. We can do it again. To our sisters, brothers, mothers, fathers, peers, we are sorry. A warden. Interesting. That doesn't confirm anything. If I zoom in, I can see it there. But it doesn't say that they made it out. But no, it doesn't say that they made it out, but it seems that they severed themselves. And left. We want to survive. Waiting for certain death is not selflessness, it is suicide. It is self-destruction. Some of us have chosen to leave before the inevitable. To leave the destruction behind, and our loved ones who think that fate is greater than choice. If you want to join us, use this chip to find 10 hidden keys we left behind on this planet and place them in an extraction capsule. Oh. A warden. They broke from the collective, and maybe it wasn't a true hive mind. Maybe it was a matter of society. That you have to think as society thinks. And that raises the question of free will, which I don't think I've fully addressed on here. So I might take this opportunity to do so. Free will is the fundamental flaw of any system. Anything ever that requires humans to just do is always going to fail. I saw this quote while I was browsing Reddit, reading these things, and I don't agree with most of the stuff people say on Reddit. I think it's wildly liberal. I think a lot of it is just people talking and not really thinking. I'm going to go up the shaft and take a breath and then go in there. Because this is a survivor. This is a human. And maybe he found the warden. Because I've been down there. But I find their takes to be so out of left field. And this is us, I don't normally listen to them. There we go. I read it because sometimes they say things that are entertaining. I like reading some of the stories. I love to read. But I'm just going to talk about free will. Free will is something that I know exists. I do not believe it exists. I know that it exists. Because even begging the question of it fertilizer is a pain to make as well. Even begging the question of free will, if you choose to. Which I don't. I do believe that free will is something that people have. Yoink, yoink. Yoink, 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 yoink. We got a terminal here. Not much in here. Ah. Interesting. Let's pop one of you. I won't surrender. I won't let myself be taken in by this cold and dusty planet. I will look everywhere. I will even dig deep to find resources that will allow me to get off this hell. I need to find materials to craft a rocket and build a launch platform. Without a multi-tool, everything takes so much time. I have to prevail. I won't give up. I won't surrender. Iklas, year 3042. I wonder where his grave is. A morbid thought, I agree. But I'm glad to see that he found shelter. That he expanded. There wasn't water here, but there was a heater in there. That's an important part. All without a multi-tool is probably the most impressive part of that. Genuinely. I have a multi-tool. So don't worry. But let's return to the thought of free will, and you have to ask the question, what is free will? Well, free will is the ability to choose for yourself your own actions. It hinges upon the fact that you are to be responsible for your choices as well. If you are not to be responsible for your choices, you do not have free will. Because all choices will have consequences. If you knock the domino over, the rest will follow. Assuming you set up a proper domino. But I take that for granted. Okay. Let's get this stuff deposited in there, and then I'm going to go do super alloy, and then I'm going to need to go do the zeolite deposit. Get that ready to go. That might be the last section of this map I have to explore. Honestly. Which is kind of sad. I've been so many places. Eventually I'll just go and drive off into the desert. Resign myself to my fate. No, but that actually gives me something to look for. Because now I can go look for those warden keys. To get off this planet. Because I was wondering, because I couldn't shut it off. You remember that giant glowing orb I found way earlier? I couldn't shut it off. It didn't give me an option. And it shoots things down. So obviously, the wardens who fled made it off the planet. Because I haven't found wrecks of any ship. At least not yet. Maybe I will. But I keep returning to the fact that I need to address free will. I said that free will is the ability to choose. I believe that it is endemic to every single human ever born, whoever will be born. People who are dead had free will. People alive have free will. Once you're dead, you don't get the choice anymore. Not like you once did. You don't get to change. And that's the other thing. You don't get to change your choices. You don't get a redo. You do something, and it's done. That is the cost of free will. Well, not really. That's the effect of free will. That's the effect of action. Free will is having to deal with the consequences thereof. I just ran over my garden. Having to deal with the consequences of your actions. Having to find a way to look yourself in the face. Look yourself in the mirror. Stare into your eyes. And say that it was worth it. Most will find that it was not. That is a tragedy of life. To look at it, to look at what life you have lived, and say that it wasn't worth it. I have my own standards for that. I have my own standards for determining what would have made life worth it. Thing I want to look back at, say it was worth it. Well, I'm confident I will meet it. But you never know until after. They say hindsight is 20/20, but they should say that forward sight is 0/0. Because you never know. You can look back and say, oh, I should have done this, oh, I should have done that. You didn't have the knowledge you did at that time. The task of you right now, and this is, I'm really not addressing free will, but the task of yourself in the moment is to make the best choice with the information you have at that moment. I love stories that do this. I love stories that put a character, Kogias. When I was watching Kogias, I'm like, yes, I see entirely how he arrived at this conclusion. I know exactly how it is wrong. I know why he would do it. I know that I would do the same thing. Watching Lelouch make these mistakes and fail through no real fault of his own. That's the thing. He didn't fail because he was bad at his job. He didn't fail because he made a bad plan. He failed because he did not know. And that's such a huge difference. Because you can never know. I might hit 55 GTI. Luch's biggest failure throughout the entire anime of Code Geass was the fact that he was not omniscient. That was the reason he failed. And there were times where he was prideful. There were times where he took a risk, and he understood that he could fail if he took that risk. It's part of taking a risk. He was very calculated, and he did his best to adjust on the fly. He was a good manipulator. He wasn't as good as his deadbeat dad, though. But yes. Light rocket. Okay, I need that. So some osmium. There it is. Boink, boink. 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 One more. 3. 1, 2, 3. Super alloy rod, super alloy rod, super alloy rod. Super alloy rod. Okay. Now let's take the chance. Head up there, head up there. And get my stuff going. I should have plenty of power. Cool. Oh, look at that. The forest is spreading. Nice. Yeah, I liked watching Code Geass. So I haven't actually watched all of it yet. I fell off right about the time they set off the nuke in Tokyo. Like, yeah, I think that's right about that time. So I watched. I watched Luch crumble in real time. Especially with Euphemia. I found that so fascinating. Like, oh man. It's not even really his fault. Like, genuinely. It's not even really his fault. That was his pride. His ego was speaking, but he didn't think anything would come of it. Oh, truly unfortunate. Just an unfortunate turn of events. I thought the anime was going to be finished because I don't look ahead on that stuff. I don't like to ruin myself. Ruin the view. Ruin what I do. Height to weight, thin level, low. I like how I still have the sand waterfalls. Stuff that's just annoying to make, I'll definitely grab. Okay, where am I? Went too far. So Super Light's probably in that little cave there then. I can get there back and around. I don't have to worry about oxygen. But to return to the thesis point, free will is something that all people have. Now, people act as if their free will frees them from the consequences of their choices. It does not. It never has. Never will. An action has reaction. An action has a consequence. That doesn't apply just to science. It applies to everything in life. Your choice has a consequence. Good or bad. The consequence doesn't mean bad. We just think it does. Consequence doesn't have to be something that is bad. It's something that happens. There's no cave here. Is it up? Huh. Maybe it is on that side. Maybe I should definitely bring the materials for a teleporter. Let me see if there's a cave entrance I can get to. They'll have zeolite in it. I think I know what cave it is, so. there's a teleporter fairly close to here. Because this will be osmium. Then if I head this way, into here, we'll get something cool. Zeolite, yeah. Definitely want to build one here. Oh! I don't remember the water being here last time. Oh well. We all good. Let's see. Perfect. Let's go find that super alloy. But first, what's in here? Nothing of great import. So this is where it is. Okay, nice to have found it. Let's kind of see if there's another cave entrance somewhere I can use. What's up here? Ah, I see. I see, yes indeedy. Okay, so got that, got sulfur, got osmium, got uranium. I have uranium. I have an osmium mine. I should probably move it from there over to there. So, and I should have obsidian. I think I do. I may have forgotten where exactly it was, but I'm pretty sure I made one. So iron, magnesium, silicone, cobalt. Is there cobalt somewhere that I can do? Yeah, cobalt there. On the edge there. So I haven't actually explored over there. Huh. I wonder what's over there. Probably something else I completely missed. The wreckage of the warden ship that fell. But I should, yeah. As I ramble on and on and on about things. It's hard to answer exactly what free will is, aside from the ability to choose. People seem to think they don't have it. And well, when people say they don't have free will, it always seems to be with the same purpose. It always seems to have the purpose of freeing them from responsibility. Because they know that with free will comes the responsibility of your own choices and actions. You have to bear them. You don't get to wave your hand and say, no, not me. Never me. So that's in range. I don't have to bear the consequences of my choices. I was forced. I am of the mind that I will punish coercion. Be sympathetic to the coerced. Yes, I do say that. But they still chose. And oftentimes, they choose to do this as an opportunity. Or they choose to do this because they feel they have no other choice. Because the other choice is too difficult to bear. I'm going to sound cold when I say this. I'm going to sound cruel. I'll accept coercion as a defense in the defense of another person. Someone you care about, someone you don't care about. But I won't extend it very far. And coercion to the violating of your own principles shows how strong your compass is. Shows the strength of your moral fiber, as some would say. And if you change under the pressure, I would say that it is very weak. I would say that you have a lot of thinking to do. I, as an individual, am determined, though I've never been tested. I pray I never will be, because I don't wish for misfortune to fall upon my head. We got up to 57. Look at that. I don't wish misfortune upon people to test their ideals. I ask them, knowing yourself, would you hold to what you believe in the face of adversity? And knowing myself, I say that I have to. What am I if I don't? Nothing but a spineless, feckless, little excuse of a man. That is what I am. If I sacrifice my ideals for my life, what I believe deserves all of me. What I believe deserves all of my will, to the point of which I will die for it. It is that important to me. And that is the difficulty I would have if someone kidnapped a loved one to try and get to me. I would be filled with anger. Filled with so much hatred. I wouldn't know what to do with it. I would be so angry. I'd be very motivated. But that is where my will falters. Because I believe that I have no right to any life but my own. I believe that if I were given the chance... Warding key detector, that's an interesting one. I'll have to put that on my scanner. Where did I make it? Given the choice of having to save untold millions, untold billions of lives, and all I had to do was sacrifice my own, I would. Because it's my life. It is my choice for my life. But that ends the moment someone else's life comes in. I have no right to anyone else's life. And I have no right to end my life just because I don't like it. Understand that. I don't advocate for suicide. But in a situation where there would be no other choice, where it would be my life or the lives of my loved ones, I would sacrifice my life for them. They are worth it. It was my life for strangers. I would sacrifice my life for them. They are worth it. And I do value my life. And some people will come to me and say, no, you don't. I do. I truly do. I'm going to make that before we finish today. But 2 of those, right? Magnetar and the circuit board. Pardon me. There we go. I am a man who has to live by his ideals, or I will fall by them. Okay, now I get to go wander the map again. Okay, let's finish in here. A little bit of a heavy topic today. Genuinely, it is a heavy topic. And I got a little serious by that end. And maybe I'll come back to that when I record for the next episode. That idea. But until then, I hope you guys will like, leave a comment, subscribe. Love to talk to you guys. Tell me what you think free will is. Thank you. Have a great day.